Floor it. Green, green, green.
How's it going, everyone? WallysOG here, and today I'm bringing you my first video at Charlotte. Well,
Car right.
I mean, it's not like it's the oval
Right
only.
side's clear.
It's the infield. It's great. It was actually, this is my first, like, actual race here. I think I did one, like, way back when I, like, very first got iRacing. But it did not end well.
Okay,
This
Wallace.
one
Decent start. We can build
didn't
something from
end
here.
too bad, actually. This is one of the first times where it wasn't like actual like pack, I guess, racing or pack driving necessarily, but that's something that I don't think like I have a whole lot of experience in. I know I've talked about it in a couple other videos where I'm still not comfortable, like lap 1, cold tires, cold brakes, all that. I mean, it's obvious. It's really hard to get comfortable with that like every single time and be consistent every single time. But I feel like the Miata is just one of those things where it's like, that is a thing, obviously, but it's not as big of a thing.
There's an incident in
But,
the first chicane. We think it might be
Yeah,
Gomez.
I feel like this is one of those. This is one of those cars where you can really get a whole lot of kind of entry-level practice in a lot of different scenarios, and then hopefully you can equate that to some higher-end driving later on. We make it through lap 1 perfectly unscathed and whatnot, which is really nice. Pretty fantastic, actually. The track itself is fun, yes, and like, I will come here again. But I will say the infield is really tricky. At least it was very tricky for me. It was fun though, in the sense of like with all the elevation changes and how many banked like turns there were. It actually just lets you throw the car into corners, which is pretty fun. It's really tricky to get used to, but it's still like
On your right.
I don't know. I feel like
Still
once you
there.
get into
Clear
the
right.
groove and whatnot, it's pretty easy to get comfortable until like
Have it. Nice one.
a couple other tracks and whatnot, like especially like new ones. Like for me, this is still new. I'm freaking out going into the chicanes. It's definitely an interesting one for sure, but we try to get there, and it kind of works out. But now that I have a little bit of a gap to close between first and a little bit of a gap behind me, I think I was telling myself here, it's now time to try some different.
P2. The leader has just
Try
done
some different lines.
135.93.
Try some different gears. Like I think there, the first couple laps I was in second, going into that first turn. At some point I think I was downshifting down to second here. Yeah, there it goes again. But I think you're actually supposed to stay in third, if I'm not mistaken, and you're supposed to be on the gas like a lot earlier. But we were pulling away a little bit from third, and then we kind of popped that. We popped the blue sausage a bit and kind of kicked us up and whatnot. But it's all right. We did catch Simone or Simon. I don't know. I'm not sure. We did catch them up a little bit, but then we immediately lost the gap. But we did break off from third place just a little bit more. It looks like they didn't really have a really great exit out of that last turn. Going into the chicane, I'm actually right behind.
Okay, Wallace, you're gaining on the car in
First
front.
place.
The gap's now 0.8.
But they get a much better exit out of the chicane, and here we are. I will have to say it's been really fun getting into iRacing. It does kind of suck with how long you have to wait in between races, but I guess there's like the practice sessions and whatnot you're supposed to do beforehand.
135.24.
Which does make some pretty decent sense as well. If I actually did the practice, which you guys will see in a video probably next week, just the way that I'm doing these videos so far. There's a video coming out later on where I did, like, it's the first time I've ever been at this track in this game at least, and in this car, not this one that you're seeing right now, but I'm talking about the future video. It's my first time there in this game, but not my first time there. And it's not my first time in the car that I'm in, but it's a whole scenario that's just, it's all a weird one, and that one might be a little bit longer of a video, because I think I have some more things that I really want to talk about in that one, but it's been amazing amounts of fun going into all these and trying everything. And like I said before, like the honeymoon period, I guess, of iRacing is still there, and I'm guessing it'll be there for quite a while. But I'm having a whole lot of fun trying to increase my driving rating, trying to increase my licenses and whatnot, trying to break myself out of my own comfort zone, because even then I'm still pretty shy when it comes to hopping into some of these random places. I feel like a lot of the drivers in here kind of expect people to just automatically know, or like when I'm out of the rookie ranks,
134.88. That lap time was 135.
A lot of things would be expected at that point, but hopefully I can improve my driving style, which is not super strong in qualifying. At least I don't think I'm super strong in qualifying. In the bottom splits, I'm so far kind of up there, but now that I'm up for promotion in C license, actually I don't think that really has like a massive amount to do anything about it, but I think my I rating is now close to 1200. I'm between 1100 and 1200. I know that for a fact. Things are starting to become a lot more difficult, especially when it comes to like the touring car races. Like I'm qualifying like 3 seconds off the pace now. Or even in this, I was because I was doing this for fun, because obviously this doesn't count towards like MPR or anything like that, but if I'm not mistaken, the guy in front of me, as I completely bottle this chicane,
the gap in front is now 1.2.
he did like a 134 in qualifying, and I was at like a 136. So I don't know, but I digress. We skipped ahead a little bit because things kind of got to the same point.
P2.
And we're gonna start going to my mistakes now.
The gap behind is now 1.2.
Where I drop it down to first gear because I just outbrake myself going into the chicane. And it sets me up for a really, really, really bad exit. And we're gonna see how getting complacent starts to be like a major downfall, which is, you know, it's very obvious in that way, but that's kind of how my driving style is, which is I'm behind a guy who I know is like faster. As long as I can stay with them, they either make a mistake or I get a chance kind of at the end of the race. That's usually like my driving style right now until I can get a lot more comfortable behind the wheel. But I make a really, really, really huge error here by just like not braking, and then I'm just not downshifting just to, you know, just to get me going, and a 1 second gap turns into what could essentially be a 10th. A little bit up now because I'm panicking, but he's gonna have a much, much, much better exit out of this turn here. I definitely started feeling like a lot of the pressure here. Like he's just here, and this is why I kind of wanted to I want to practice this kind of racing. I need to be in like a leading situation, and I also need to be I need to be defending, period. I usually don't defend my position until the very end, because progress is like, I mean, that's the way to go. It's just the best way to really do anything, but I don't know. Doesn't really seem like that's going to be that much of a thing, but...
That lap was a 136.63.
We'll see. Maybe we'll get there. We do have 3 to go now at this point, and I don't know if you saw it, but I basically was breaking through the final chicane just a bit too much, and third place was actually going to run into the back of me, and he didn't. And since he didn't, he made a mistake. But I make a mistake to return the favor in the infield, and we're really hoping that this Mr. Scott does not come back. I am just dropping everything on my desk. I don't even know why. First is pretty much long gone at this point. There's like no way that we're going to be able to catch them back up. They're 5 seconds up. It's not a thing. We did drop Scott just a little bit more because now we're up to a 1.3 second gap. And this time I finally nail the chicane in a good way. And we just increase even more so to the point where we somehow magically end up on the last lap. Still in second place. Just about to go into the final chicane. Just about to start lapping people. But that's not how it ends. How it ends is we end up in P2. And it was a fun race in Charlotte.
Well done,
I'm definitely going to be back.
Great drive. That's a podium.
This is the current one this week. And I'm definitely going to be doing more. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. I don't know.